we should go about the payments and the board and trains and whatnot?
Yeah. So we don't really have it outlined just because everybody's a little bit different. Everybody accepts payments a little bit, different. One of the things that we do recommend though is to one, have that as an option, and two, whenever you're doing the evals or the transformation session, which essentially they're the exact same thing, to always collect some sort of cash or some sort of like payment at the spot rather than saying, oh, I'm just going to send you, the link or for you to pay when I get home, for example. Because what happens is when you wait a little bit longer, then the chances of them backing out increases. So we don't have like a structure. We have something that, that we recommend and stuff that, for example, like I said, like the Affirm thing, offering some sort of financing, offering some sort of incentive for them to pay in full and, never leave the eval or the transformation session without, if they agree to pay, like they agree to move forward, like don't leave that without accepting some sort of, deposit or some sort of payment. One of the things that we say is that the sale is not real unless, you actually like, for example, swipe the card. And one of the, mistakes that I've seen before is that, people would get excited like, oh, I closed a $5,000 sale. Oh, I closed 3,000. Oh, I closed this and that, right? And for us, we're like, okay, they're absolutely crushing it. Like, heck yeah. But then then later on we found out like, oh yeah, they never really paid. I'm like, what do you mean? I thought you said you closed. Like, no, they never, we never got the payment. So it's like, well, that's the problem that, that you never accepted the payment when they agreed that they would move forward. So anything can happen from, when they agreed to, later on that night, or later on that evening, or the next day. They might, have second thoughts and not want to move forward with it. And, if you're not collecting any sort of, payment right there at the spot, you are missing out on like on a ton of money because I've seen that happen. So that's one of the reasons why I like to really, really emphasize and push that, even if it's some sort of, deposit or anything like that, to collect any payment. So I guess my question to you guys is, what kind of, for those who do that and collect some sort of payments, like what structure do you guys have, or like what's been working for you guys?
So for us at Coastal Canine, personally, what we do when I do the evals or transformation session, if they're like, "Yep, want to do it, let's go," right then and there, no matter where I'm at. And for me, like I work out of a park is what I do. I collect at least a down payment. If they're like, "Yeah, let's move forward," I'm taking money right then and there. So it's super simple. Like as you're talking to them, just put it out there where you're talking about, hey, this is the cost, and they're like, "Yep, I'm ready to rock." You're like, "Cool. What type of card would you like to use? Is it going to be like I don't even say what type of card. I'm like Visa, Mastercard, American Express is how I personally go about it, and people kind of laugh about it, and I love it when they're like Amex. I'm like gold, right? So I take payment right then and there. So for me, I have my processor hooked up to the CRM, so I use Stripe personally. I have it put into the CRM. Like you can literally send the invoice from your phone and collect payment at the same time. So like whenever the new update came out, you can even tap. So that's how I do it personally. Because what happens is if you don't, like he was saying, people are like, yeah, let's do it. And then 10 minutes later, they're like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit. Right. It's real when they put money down. So instead of having to chase them so much, get at least some type of a deposit. Even if they can't afford the whole thing, if it's $200, it's $200. So worst case scenario, you don't hear back from them. At least you collected some type of money on that at that point. So,
Do you do a no money back deposit?
so normally for me, I have a 7 day. So after 7 days, there's no refunds at all. Unless like act of God takes place, or like dog passes away or something like that. I'm not going to be a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we
Okay.
put a 7 day no refund policy down. And sometimes you just got to stick to it. As long as they sign that contract, there's nothing they can do. And then of course, I mean, you can play it however you want to play it. Like I've given refunds back after 7 days, just because whether it's like scheduling or life happens. I kind of go case by case basis. It is what it is. Sometimes, sometimes things are just not worth the hassle. Just give them their money back. Or you can always put hey, there's no refund on a deposit. It's up to you. Everybody can do things differently. It's whatever you're comfortable with, but if they're like, yeah, let's rock, get some type of payment.
Josh is way more professional than I am, but I've just written down credit card numbers before.
Oh,
And,
dude. Hey, you do that too. Whatever.
No,
Whatever
I'd be
works- whatever
super,
works for you.
I'd be super careful of that, writing down some
What
of
was
those
that? I didn't even hear. I
Yeah.
didn't hear it.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I don't want people's numbers like that unless they've already signed an agreement where we're going to be auto drafting. And for that, they have to sign a contract, and we send a separate document where it's like, hey, we're going to be billing you every 2 weeks, every Friday, bi-weekly, every Friday, or whatever the case may be for X amount.
so that's a bad idea. Did nobody do that one?
Well,
That
just like, you got to think of it like, so once you take that number, if anything were to happen to those people's credit card or anything like that, like, and it comes back, something comes back to you that you wrote down the number, like you become liable. And it's like super risky, that's why if you're going to write it down, shred it so you don't have any physical trace or anything like it's something I wouldn't even mess with writing it down. Like, yeah. So like my secondary job is cybersecurity, and I wouldn't mess with anything like that, man. You're just opening yourself up. Like if you ever get audited or anything and the IRS comes and they see that, you're not gonna have a good time. It's not gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you with that.
yeah, and I don't know if anybody in here has been audited, but it sucks.
Hey, don't put that stuff on us, bro.
I would definitely, just change it up, just to keep yourself, safe, and just accept payments right there. I mean, there's like Cash App, there's Venmo. You can use, Stripe on your phone, which is like a tap. Square, which I believe they make it super easy for you to accept payments right there at the spot as well. I would definitely try to avoid, having, a physical, like physical paper with their credit card numbers. Just because again, it can be a liability.
Yeah. I mean, easiest way, set it up through the CRM. Literally, just set it up through Top Leads.
on the phone.
Yeah, literally, you set it up right there. You send the invoice. You can either take their card now and tap it to the top of your phone. It gives you the option for it. You can do it that way. You can literally just type their number in. You can have them just do it right there in front of you, so you're not taking their number at all, because it'll send them a link, and they can open that link up. They can pay right through the link.
Okay, I'm gonna get on that today.
Do you have like a Stripe account, Joe? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I would definitely connect it to your CRM for sure.
Absolutely.
Either tomorrow or Thursday or something. So hopefully we get some money in that Stripe account.
If you guys have like a home base, you can negotiate processing fees with your bank. So like we use Chase for our processing, and I was able to negotiate each process. So like each credit card down to like 1 to 1.5%. Amex is a little bit higher, but over time it adds up to where, now that's half of like what Square and everything withholds for their processing fees. So that's why I was curious. Like I don't have a mobile deposit thing, which, well, they'll give one to you. I don't ever use it. But negotiating with your bank is something that is a thing. You can negotiate your processing fees so you're not paying that 3 or whatever +%, because it does add up.
Oh yeah.
To a lot.
Absolutely, bro. Processing fees for us last year were like $30K.
Oh, easy. Yeah, dude.
It was crazy.
I get sick every time I look at it annually.
I know. It hurts. It definitely
Well,
hurts.
and because most processors, they're actually third party. So it's actually going through 2 people before you get charged. So it's whatever company, and then they pay their processing fee to the bank, and then it goes through and everything. So you're actually getting charged 2 different amounts, but it comes out to that main amount when you use whoever your third party is. So you can negotiate it down to where you're dealing directly with the bank processing themselves. And then that way you get that lower fee because there's no middleman. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good information, honestly. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't even I didn't even know that either. Like that's the reason why I like doing these Q&As, because like there's always something that, you know, knowledge that someone has that can share with, you know, the rest of us. Because I personally didn't even, you know that, but that's really, really good to know. Just because that's something that, you know, moving forward, we can, you know, let clients know, let people know that, hey, like if you have a location, you know, you can negotiate the processing fees. No, I appreciate you sharing that, man.
Do you tell the clients there's a processing fee and charge them more if they use debit or credit,
Yeah, you
to
can.
where they have to cover the process fee and just make it
Depends on your
easier, or
state.
they're convinced to paying cash or check?
That depends on your state. Some states let you add it in, some states let you give two different prices, and some states you have to eat the fee. So it really
Oh, okay.
depends. I don't,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. I'll
So
look
like
that up for South Carolina.
South Carolina probably don't give a shit, to be honest with you. It's gonna be
Okay.
like California, Colorado, New York, like those places. Yeah, they're gonna
Far
go.
left. Far
Yeah,
left.
like Virginia, you cannot charge like a service fee
Okay.
for like non-goods.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll double
interesting.
check, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot more states that are being cool with it now, that are like letting you charge it, or, you know, you can give two different prices, like, hey, my credit card price is 3,000, my cash price is 2,900. You know, so just, I would look at the state. If you're not doing like six figures to like mid six figures, probably won't have to worry about it. You're probably not gonna get outed for it, but there is a certain line that you hit where now things start kind of getting flagged and, you know, investigated a little bit more. But just to be on the safe side, you can Google it. I just Googled it the other day. I just don't remember any of the info.
No, but in all reality too, you can always just add that into your normal pricing and just not charge the fee. You just already
100%.
add it into the price of your program.